In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through all of the events in the Nexus, and I'm going to be explaining what outcomes you can get from each of them. And I hope this will help you to decide which option is best for you in every single event that you come across. And yeah, let's get right into it. So obviously you're going to start off by fighting Sylvan. Please remember to bring your anomaly detector. I've seen people forget this time and time again. Now we're just going to keep holding on until we have to fight him. If you click any of the other options, you will be locked out of the Nexus. He will leave you alone, but you can't go in. So there's that. Let's just quickly get rid of him. I did forget to buy defense scrambler, but it should be fine. Okay, so you can lower his hull to 3 and he will surrender, or if you kill all but 2 of his crew, he will also surrender. Now this is actually the only time when you can, you still can't crew kill him, but you can reduce his crew to the point that he surrenders, and then he'll allow you through. So if you're going for a crew kill setup, this is the time to do so. And here you have 2 options. Now, if you keep on fighting, you'll get the same reward that you get when you normally kill Sylvan. That means if you hull kill him, then you will get a ton of scrap, fleet delay for which is kind of useless, a bunch of items as well. Though one thing to note, you will not get the what was it called, the Rift Waker. They removed this in a couple updates ago because if you got the Rift Waker here, you could just easily clear the Nexus. And I believe they've changed it so that every single ship, no matter the difficulty, will receive his merchant shield instead. So keep that in mind. You can't just kill him here for a free win to the Nexus by getting the Riftwaker. You will still have to defeat Sylvan somewhere else, apart from this point. But we're gonna stand down and he'll give you a weapon, a whole bunch of resources, though I believe if you kill him you do get more scrap. And you get some repairs, but since we're full, you don't see them. That's it. Also, a nice thing to note is that all of the borders will be removed. So if you're having a border crisis, just quickly kill him, get his surrender, and all your problems will vanish. Now we're gonna jump, and we're gonna have to enter. If we leave the rift behind, we will not be able to re-enter. So keep that in mind. Even if we jump back to the same beacon, it's gone forever in the current run. Okay, here. And one thing to note before we start going into this is that every event you see here is guaranteed unless something overrides it. The only items that could possibly override it is if you happen to spawn an alley quest in the Hector sector which got sent to the next sector, but this becomes your next sector, so that quest overrides some beacon inside the Nexus. Or if you spawn something like if you spawn an enemy using something like Drive Hacker, Proton Pack, Rebellion, so just don't do those, okay? Because I'm very certain every single Nexus event is better. Like, yes, there are some that are just forced fights and not very nice, but the chance of you overriding that versus the chance of you overriding an actually useful beacon it's not favorable, right? You could override Dylan, so just don't spawn any quests prior to coming to this sector. But we see here we get a nice 45 free delay. That means you'll have plenty of time to explore the entire sector. Now, with GVAN, it does not matter what you choose, you will eventually be led to the same outcome. You can refuse and yeah, it will send you to the same outcome. Here, these choices do not matter. It will all send you to the next page. Our Sylvan. Here, it's up to you whether you want an explanation. And if you have an Irwin blue option right here, use it because it actually helps it helps a little bit. The silencing at the start of the fight will last a little bit shorter. But yeah, other than that, you're forced into the fight. Do not worry, this is very temporary. We will see you very soon. Get a bit of a blur, and your systems are restored. Alright, so we're just gonna, once again, force GVAN to surrender. Same thing applies as with Sylvan, by the way. You can reduce his hull to 3 or reduce his crew down to 2, I believe, and you will have the option to spare or keep fighting. Now, if you keep fighting, you will get the standard big scrap, not as big as the normal Sylvan, but it's pretty similar to the surrender outcome we got from Sylvan just now, where he gave you a bunch of resources, about 200 scrap, and instead of being a random weapon, if you kill G-Van, you will always get the Vindicator, which is the laser that he's using. 2 power, 4 shots, each projectile deals 2 damage. So that's what happens if you hull kill him. And keep in mind, you still cannot crew kill him. You can lower his crew to force a crew surrender, but you cannot crew kill him. You will have the same he won't constantly board you like normal Sylvan does, but his ship will be taken over by AI, kind of like the flagship. And yeah, so if we spare him, then the only reason we want to spare him is to get G-Van himself. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. So the way you get G-Van is by doing number 1, we've handled verse, whatever prime chokes others we can take. Don't do this. Number 2 just gives you nothing, which is kind of useless. Who is she exactly? You can face your fate after you help us. This will get you G-Van, and honestly, I think this is what you should do every single time, since he's very strong for helping you get through the Nexus. But if you want to play around with the Vindicator, just hull kill his ship. Just keep in mind you will increase your Nexus notoriety if you hull kill him. Okay, so as for the Nexus, there will be about 5 to 6 of these merchant beacons, whereby it's pretty similar to a normal silver interaction where you can sell resources or see what he's offering. One thing I'll keep in mind is that there is no confirmation button for the attack. So if you hit attack, you are gonna just straight up attack him. Now, you can sell drone parts, and if you find Dylan, you can buy drone parts for 1 scrap and sell them back to other vendors for 4 scrap. So that's nice. And you'll always see this. There's 1 full page of weapons, 1 full page of drones, 1 full page of augments, 1 full page of crew, and there'll be another page for systems, but since I'm already maxed on systems, it doesn't show up, that's why. But yeah, at this point, I think the weapons I would recommend would be the ones that are good at defeating Prime, and if you need a guide for that, you can check out my other video which I did on how to defeat Sylvan Prime. But for now, this video is just going to focus on the event outcome, so we're just going to ignore these merchant beacons since they're all the same. Alright, so we've got this everything everywhere is Sylvan event. So number 2 does nothing. Number 1, it has a 66% chance to just lose you a crew and you just don't get your crew. It is clone bay protected, so if you throw out a crew and you roll that chance of not getting a Sylvan, you will still get a crew back from the clone bay. But on the other hand, there's a 33% chance, aka a 1 in 3 chance, that your crew turns into a Sylvan. 1 random crew will turn into a Sylvan. So we can see here, yep, it's gone. I don't have clone base, so there's that. He's just gone. But if I did get lucky, that slug would turn into a Sylvan. Next up, the only distress beacon in this whole sector is this free Mantis Sylvan event. So here you want to click sure to continue engaging with the event. No just gives you an empty beacon. So when you click sure, you will find a free Mantis vessel, and here you have 2 options. So first, you can fight free Mantis Sylvan. If you say you aren't really Sylvan, you hurt him and then he'll get angry, he'll fight. It will be a very weak ship if I'm not mistaken, and so it'll be an easy fight, and the Sylvans will reward you with, I believe, something like this standard reward of 200 scrap, a whole bunch of resources, and an item. On the other hand, you can trade with him, which is what I typically prefer, especially if I need to gear up for the boss fight. So just trade with him will lead you to fighting a normal Sylvan ship, and this will also increase your notoriety, so keep that in mind. Now, just gonna go ahead and defeat this after the cloak wears off. But by doing so, you actually gain access to... It's the same store as you see from the other vendors, along with a whole bunch of resources and scrap, which is nice. Yep, notoriety increase, and you get a store, which can be quite useful for gearing up. Like you can see here, there's shadow weapons. There's I mean, at the moment we don't need editing that much. But if you're lacking something, like if you really need to find some critical component, I would recommend the store here. Next up, we have Rebel Sylvan. Now, this used to be a like the scariest event. I think this used to have what 6 or 8 rebel lasers. They nerfed it to 4, which is kind of a lot safer, but still definitely one of the more volatile fights. So here, ignore its gloating is just gonna lead to an empty beacon. Option 1 will lead you to a fight. Here you can force his surrender. Same conditions, 3 Howl or 2 Crew. And yeah, we just gotta withstand all that. Okay, but we should be fine now. Alright, same thing. So here, if you finish him off, I believe you get, again, the same high 200 scrap, a lot of resources weapon, I think. But you will also increase your Nexus notoriety, which can be an issue because we do not have a lot of these to play around with. So if you spare him, then you will get, we'll see here, a weapon, a lot lower of a scrap and resource reward, but you will also get Rebel Sylvan. And Rebel Sylvan himself is functionally identical to a normal Sylvan, it's just reskinned, that's all. He has the same stats, same everything. Next we have Dylan, and here, please do not use 2, okay? Like, 2 not only voids the special shop, it also makes you fight Dylan. And if you defeat Dylan, your notoriety will increase for absolutely no reason. Because you could just respond with a cheerful greeting and get a store. I think if you do defeat him, you get like an unholy amount of fuel for some reason. But just don't. Just don't. Trust me on this. Go with option 1. Now, if you have if this is your first time in the Nexus, you will get a different encounter where Dylan goes all silent and somber and he just says some foreboding stuff. And that means 3 runs later, on the way to Note 17, you will encounter something strange, let's just say. And once you have defeated that strange boss in your save file, then for every other time you go to the Nexus in the future, you will get this current outcome, which I am showing to you right now, where he just thanks you for your service and gives you a massively discounted store. 1 scrap resources, 1 scrap repairs, everything is 90% off. But otherwise, it's basically the same thing as a normal Sylvan store, just massively discounted. Also, I guess the text for the items are different, so that's cool. Now, if you need scrap, I would recommend buying and selling the weapons or just any item that you do not need. Like, let's say I do not need any of these. I could buy these for 90% off and sell them back to gain a scrap profit because you're selling them back at 50% of the original price, not the price you bought it at. So this is a good way, if you get this event early on, just to give yourself a little extra scrap. And Dylan himself is also has the same stats as a normal Sylvan, it's just reskinned in a pretty funny way, I guess. Next we have a hat, the hat store. So this is important for those of you who have not unlocked the magic hat yet. This is where you're gonna do it. So it will be an empty beacon. You'll start with this. You receive a hail from a nearby store station shaped like a large hat. Visit the store. If you decline, it's an empty beacon. Now, here, these will always be your only 3 options. The price will be random, somewhere between 100 to 120, I believe. Now, if you want a hat, what you need to do, you need to come to this event while having a unique crew that has a hat. And I believe the hat crew, off the top of my head, Tali, Ariadne, Kazak Pretkilik, Tadio, and the Sears, No, that's more. Ivar counts, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm completely blank right now, but I will put the full list of hat crew in the description once I find out, and by checking the game files. It's just that I've kind of blanked out right now. So what you want to do is you want to click this. I'm sorry, the jewel of what? Um, Now here he says the last guy who asked me that already took my special hat because I already unlocked it, so I will not get the option to unlock it again. But if you have not um unlocked it, then you will be seeing a different text here, and you will have the option to present a unique crew with a hat. It's just that I've done it before, so you will not see it. That keep in mind that does prevent you from buying one of these, but you only need to unlock the magic hat once, and it's very worthwhile to unlock. So just go for it. Hopefully you don't need any of these for your Sylvan Prime fight. But coming back to these, what you the effects are as described. There's no gotcha. There's no side effect. I think short range teleportation is generally useful. The others two are a bit more niche, but you can buy any of these. It'll be fine. Now, next we have the narrator. So here, the first time you encounter the narrator, he will just ask you a bunch of questions, and it doesn't lead to much. Though on future visits like this one, you can say what is going on, and he'll give you a gift. And that gift, the narrator will give to you every single time you come to the Nexus and visit the narrator. If you do, oh no, oh not this weirdo again, you will increase your notoriety. And also don't defeat him. Like if you actually defeat him, the game will force curse on you, which is kind of funny, but it can be risky to your progress. But so just don't. Like you literally don't get anything from defeating him. So just play along, accept the gift. It's a bucket. I believe they made the bucket no slot, which is kind of good. And it basically gives buffs to the crew in your room. So it increases damage, it increases repair, makes abilities recharge a lot faster. Like if you see here, and if we move Dylan back here, the ability will recharge quite a bit faster. So that's one of the things. And I believe those are the main stats. And also makes your crew take less damage. So there's that. And can be quite useful for the prime fight. So it's nice to keep around. Here we have the Papyobyn and Sansvan encounter. So here it depends on what you want. Normally, I don't want to raise my notoriety too high, so I would just play along. So here's the thing, if you refuse, you will get into a fight. So if you don't want to fight, because if you fight them and you defeat them, you will increase your Nexus notoriety. Which is, I keep mentioning notoriety, it's a bit important, as I'll discuss later on. But if you don't want to fight them, you will have to do his puzzles. And here, first couple is just do puzzle, do rock, paper, scissors. That's fine. You will always win. Now, just don't decline at any time, because if you decline any time, you will trigger the fight anyways. So now you've got trivia. There's always 5 questions. It's always the same questions. So just if you memorize the key inputs, then you'll cruise through this. So who is the Admiral of the Rebellion? It'll be Vance. What's the name of the Castro? The name of the Castro is just Castro. And again, don't click option 4, you will trigger a fight. What's the main function of TKK? It's slavery. Relation between theocracy and federation is hostile. And who developed the CICA AI? Arcadia. And once you've done all of this, you will get both Papyobyn and Sans. Now, Papyobyn's almost the same as a regular S.I.L.V.A.N. It's just that the ability, on top of dealing damage, it also slows enemy movement. That's the only difference. I believe everything else is the same compared to normal Obyn. Now, Sans is very different. Only has 10 health, but only takes 1% damage from crew combat. This means in a normal fight, he effectively has, I believe, 1000 health, which is like 4 times more than a normal Sylvan. The only caveat is that he dies to anything that does not deal, it's not direct crew combat damage. So if he gets shot by a laser, he'll die. If a shell explodes, he'll die. If you use Orbin and Sans in the same room and you use Orbin's ability, he'll die in like 2 seconds. So just keep that in mind. Oh, also, he comes with teleporter built in. So if you didn't buy the teleporter hat, he will teleport by himself. Merchants, the same thing as before, so we're gonna ignore that. Traveling capitalist. Now, 4 will lead to a empty beacon, but the other options will all lead into the same outcome. So it does not matter what happens. So it'll say you need the VIP Multiverse Pass, and you can just say how to get M-Bucks. Now, at the time of recording this, which is 5.5, version 5.5.1 of Multiverse, this option doesn't do anything but take your scrap. I think they might want to do something with this in the future, but for now, it literally does nothing except get you out of a fight. But if you didn't want to fight, then just click option 4 in the first place. Right. But regardless, if you refuse, then you'll be led into a fight. Now, the fight, you can use standard cloak hack to defeat this, because I'm not sure why this one weapon's offline, by the way, but because all of the gold flags fire at the same time, you will be able to just cloak hack this enemy and easily take him down. And you will always get a gold flag Mark II along with the bunch of scrap and resources as usual. Now, gold flag 2 unfortunately is not that great. Its main purpose is to be sold since you can sell it for 140 scrap, because the stats on it are just not great for Nexus standards, because we don't really use this for Prime. Alright, next up, we have hard Sci-Fi Sylvan. No shields, always has the same weapon, always has the same color scheme, and he'll always start by saying, do you not feel any shame for using the technology, your soft sci-fi technology, and so on. At this point, there are 2 options here. I think both are pretty valid, but most people will swear by one. So number 2 will give you a store, and this store will only have weapons. But this time the pool of weapons will be a bit different from the normal Nexus pool. It will have some old weapons, some elite crystal weapons, some power efficient weapons, but that's it. It does not have drones, it does not have augments, no crew. So if you're looking for those, this is not the place to get them. Actually, I think it was just 2 pages of weapons, I think. It wasn't that many. Now, most people will go with 1, and that's what we're gonna do here. So you're gonna fight, and you're gonna defeat him. Now, keep in mind, this will increase your Nexus notoriety, but this is one of the best places to sort of spend your Nexus notoriety, because the loot you get from defeating him is amazing. So we'll just go ahead and do this. And you will always get, again, same resource, same scrap, and a laser beam along with the notoriety. But the laser beam is one of the best weapons for taking on Sylvan Prime, because it just pierces all shields. It's a beam, so it's guaranteed to hit. Pierce all shields, deals 3 damage, guaranteed to start fires. It's just fantastic because you can strike this through Sylvan Prime's temporal and cloaking at the same time. All in all, I would definitely be using my notoriety on this event, at least because I don't want to get more than 2 notoriety. So one of them would go to this event because this weapon is fantastic. Next up, let's get back to the main map first. Long range jump. Alright, so we've got an event now where it says, where your only option is, are you invisible? Then it'll be, you'll come to realize that this Sylvan only exists in 1 dimension, 1D. So here, he'll just ask you to fight another 4D Sylvan that's bullying him. Refuse leads to an empty beacon, so try not to do that unless you really need it. If you accept, you will fight a Sylvan, and this is basically, the loadout is basically the same thing as the old Sylvan, where he had like, what is this, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure why this one laser is offline, but when you fight him normally, he will have 6 lasers, 6 uplifted burst tools. Alright. Now, I think this is a random item, or it may be an augment. I need to check, but it will always grant 200 scrap and some sort of, I believe it's an item actually. Yeah, because I've gotten a weapon from this before. Alright, so after clicking a bunch of options, you will get 1D Sylvan, and 1D Sylvan's actually also, well, not quite functionally same as a Sylvan. The only added benefit is that he ignores doors, which is not that useful if you have the teleporter hat, but it is something to keep in mind in case you do not. Next up, we have the glitch Sylvan. It's a free reward event. You don't have to worry about anything. Just accept some scrap, just click through, accept a laser as a free gift. Now this laser's decent, I guess. It doesn't show you the stats, but what it does, it's a 1 power laser that pierces all shields. I believe it deals 1 hull, 1 system, 15 crew damage, and 1 ion damage, and it has the chance to spawn some crew, and it does some stun. So it's, for a 1 power weapon, it's one of the best 1 power weapons you can use going into Sylvan Prime. So I think it's pretty decent. It's also part of my recommended combo for deleting Sylvan Prime's shields immediately, as I think it has 100% accuracy, so that's good. Now, next up, this Find Me beacon, it's important. You have to visit this beacon. If you do not visit this beacon, you will not be able to go to Sylvan Prime. So I'll show you that in a moment. We'll ignore this for now. But let's go here. Okay, and we have the Joke Beacon. Now, this is the only forced fight in the entire sector. Every other fight you can just ignore, you can just opt out of. But here, no matter what you choose, you will always be led to the fight. You can say, I don't know. Now the options matters. You just keep clicking, and eventually you will be led to the fight. Now, because this is a forced fight, you will not lose notoriety for this, or at least you will not gain notoriety. You will get the standard scrap reward, but that's about it. It mainly serves to exist as a forced fight. Next up we have, let's see, the weekly S.I.L.V.A.N meeting. And you will see some familiar faces, but again, ignore means you have an empty beacon, you should visit. Here, don't say nope, you will get nothing out of it. Just say that's definitely us, you go on in, and you'll see a whole bunch of text as a meeting ensures. You can just you go through this. And finally, you will notice at this point it says, a gigantic beam slices its way through the station, sending all of the chairs spiraling out into the abyss. Now, number 2 also leads to an empty outcome, so don't do that. Do number 1, protect the station. You'll see traveling Leia or Syleah. So maybe you shouldn't kill these people. Change your mind and leave. Again, it's an empty beacon. Don't do that. Commit to defending the station. Now, unlike normal Leia, this Leia can be dangerous if you do not have 4 shields. If you have 3 shields, these beams are basically Volks that they deal 4 damage. So you need 4 shields to be able to counteract them. Apart from that, there's nothing else special about this. So just make sure you have 4 shields while running through the Nexus and you'll be fine. You can take on this event easily. And there we go. Now, here, usually I go with number 2, but here's the thing. Number 1, if you let Syleah go, then that will actually reduce your notoriety. This is the only way you can reduce your notoriety in the Nexus. So it's useful if you accidentally misclicked on another fight and you want to keep your notoriety below 3. You can spare Syleah here, get a -1 notoriety point. On the other hand, if you have not made any mistakes, I would just recommend killing Syleah because you do not get notoriety for this. I would not expect you to, but there we go. So if you kill Syleah, you get a whole bunch of rewards as well. You get the standard high scrap, high resources, and the Bayach Beam, which is a 1 power Volk. It's okay, it's good for equipping Sylvan Prime Super Shield if you have an attack. Now you also get Knights here. Knights is the same thing as the normal Knights you get from the Royal Silk Nebula. There's nothing different about this Knights. So he's only useful if you are boarding and you need to sabotage. But keep in mind, Sylvan Prime does have titanium system casing, so he's not the most consistent. Then again, it's Knights. He'll be good on boarding, but for now we'll just dismiss him. Now we've got one more beacon, one other event. Let's see. It's the beans event. So you'll see a ship is chasing after another ship, saying that they want some beans. So you're gonna save, because if you stay away, it's an empty beacon. Don't do that. Now you'll fight same as before, just defeat the Sylvan and you'll get a chance to save beans. It'll be a random weapon. You'll get high resources like scrap, the standard. So you could come, head to the cargo bay, flip over the beans. Why would you do this? Now, if you pick number 2, it just gives you nothing. So you should really just do number 1. We'll take you to Sylvan Prime, maybe you have a solution, and you get beans. So beans initially is pretty useless. It's just 7 health crew that can't do anything. I don't think beans can even man. Yeah, beans can't even man systems. So just but try to keep beans alive all the way until Sylvan Prime. So once you get beans, I would recommend getting Clone Base just so he doesn't like get jumped by any borders. Because this is quite literally within one shot range. But anyways, now if we go to Sylvan Prime, you will see here we do not get the option to fight. We have to stay a bit longer, and that's because we have not encountered um this event yet. So again, this is just another standard beacon, standard Sylvan store. Now, for Find Me, you have to go through this. You don't have to read anything, though I would recommend reading it the first time to figure out what exactly is going on here. But since we've done this before, I'm just gonna skip through. Now, at this point, it does not matter what you choose. You will be led to a free item reward. Like, even if you say no, you get some scrap and an item, and that's it. And now that does allow you to go back to Sylvan Prime and choose to pick a fight, saying we're ready. And one thing I should note, actually, before we get into the Sylvan Prime fight, let me just console in one which I think is important to take note of. So the only blue option that kind of does matter here is going to be Anurag, as in it's a bad one, it's not really a good one, because it may be a bit unexpected. So once you're ready to fight, you're going to say we're ready. You're going to dock, go with them to C Prime. Here, this one does not matter. Any of these will lead you to the next part. Alright, so normally you will not have this. If you just see, you will have these options. You can ask any of these questions and you will see some bit of lore and the question will be gone. So you can just keep doing this if you want to read all of the questions. Now, if you still have beans alive by this point, you can say, can you help this can of beans? Please do it, because Sylvic is a very strong crew. And I'll show you that in a moment. Though the one thing you should know is that now he will take up a crew slot. So just keep in mind that you will need to kick someone out when you get Sylvic. But okay, so what happens here? If you have no further questions, you will be led to another ultimatum, which I will show you in a moment. But if you click on number 1 for Anurag, you will instantly be led into a fight. And that's why I'm putting this here to caution you. If you have Anurag, this should be the last thing you click, because if you click this before turning your beans into Sylvic, you just don't get Sylvic. He'll stay as a bean can the entire fight, which is not good. So just keep that in mind. Don't click Anurag until you are actually ready to fight. But I'm gonna show you what happens with number 2. So there's no going back. Now at this point, please be mindful of which option you click here. If you click number 2, the run instantly ends and you lose. So just don't. Like, number 1, yes, obviously number 1 will lead to a fight. But number 2, forces a loss upon you. It does not send you to another sector. It does not do anything else. It literally just kills you here and there, right here, right now. So we're just gonna put up a fight, and here's where the notoriety comes into play. So if your notoriety has been below 3, that means you've only gotten 2 notoriety. And if you spared Sylvan coming into the Nexus, then Sylvan will come in and help you with some laser support. And this can be useful if you need help taking down Sylvan Prime's shields. If you don't, then that's fine. Feel free to do whatever you want with it. But this is the main gameplay use case out of notoriety. Beyond that, notoriety does impact the endings, but it's mostly just text. It does not lock you out of an ending or whatnot. Unless you're doing chaos, but that's another topic altogether. But if you stay below 5 notoriety, you're fine. You can access any ending. It's just that some of the text may read differently. That is fine. So here, you will be bothered by 3 Sylvans at the start. I'm not going to go through how to defeat him because that's what my Sylvan Prime guide is for. So, yep, here we go. Now Syleah has turned into a crew, so we need to dismiss someone. We're just gonna get rid of these guys so I can show you what comes up next. Alright, yes, that. Oh, that's fine. So, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna... So actually, Sylvan Prime, you can actually get a crew surrender on this, which is kind of interesting. So we're just gonna do it all crew. And... Yep, get this under control. Okay, so here, you will need to lower his hull to around 13, I believe. Somewhere around 15. And that will allow you to get this surrender. Either that or kill all but one of his crew and turn off the clone bay. Then you will win the fight, and if you have not unlocked the cell cruisers, you will get cell cruisers right here. At this point, it doesn't really matter. Here you're just going along depending on which ending you want. So and this matters for the achievement. So if you've done one, do the other for the sake of the achievement. So spare prime means you ensure the Nexus continues, the order is upheld, her will be defeated temporarily. If you disable the wings, her will take over, and that's that. So we're gonna see with the spare prime ending. And here does not matter. Like once you've taken out Sylvan Prime, if you're not doing chaos, none of the dialogue options matter. You can just click through Pharaoh Prime, you'll get the her message. Doesn't matter. And you get a whole bunch of pop-ups, but that's fine. Right, and Prime will destroy the wings to keep you all safe. And there's that. So this will happen. And yeah, that's it. And that will be the end. So that's every event in the Nexus. And I know every event has been covered because the way they've coded the Nexus is that every single event will appear. At least every predetermined event. So there won't be any special event that you have not seen besides variations of events that permanently change once you've seen them once or twice. Beyond that, because they fill out the rest of the sector with just merchant beacons, those generic merchants that you saw that we ignored a bunch of those. And that's how they ensure every single critical event spawns. So from all the events you saw in this video, you can be assured that they will spawn unless you replace one of the beacons with like LE quest or something like that. And yeah, that's about it for this video. I think someone requested this, so I'm just gonna put it out there. If you have any questions, like I believe I covered all of the event outcomes, and I will put the full list of method unique crews in the description of the video. If if there's any other questions you have, then just let me know down below. If I missed anything, also just let me know in the comments or on Discord. That's fine as well. But yeah, that's about it for this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.